Hello, mysterious person behind the screen, and welcome to the first of a little mini-series that's going to be launching on my channel of collection updates. Why is this going to be split into parts, you ask? Well, it's been quite a while since the last collection update, and in that time, I've bought quite a lot of stuff, and I want to talk about quite a lot of stuff. But recently on the channel, there's been a lot of videos that have gone, like, over 40 minutes long, and you guys don't want to see that, do you? Let's be honest. Ultimately, I feel like it can get boring, me sat here for 40 minutes talking about so much stuff, and I feel like it's kind of hard to take that in one video, because these things, I always ramble on, and they end up being so bloody long, and I just think it's time to streamline things a bit. So for this update, going over stuff that I've bought over the last sort of 6 months or so, I'm going to be splitting it into vinyl, Blu-rays and DVDs and 4Ks, and books and figures. 3 parts, 3 videos. Hopefully that works to kind of streamline this down a little bit. And for this first one, we're going to be easing into it with vinyl records, because I've got quite into them recently. I love collecting these and looking at all the artwork and sitting down and listening to the albums as an experience, which is kind of what you get with vinyl. Like, I have Spotify and everything, and that's all great, but sometimes it's just nice to kind of experience something in a very kind of fluid, isolated, intimate form, and that's kind of what you get with vinyl and kind of what I've become addicted to. So there's not a huge amount of stuff to go through here, but I did buy quite a lot, and one in particular was something I got for Christmas, is now like one of my prized possessions, and I really want to showcase it and talk about it. But first, we'll start off on brand for my audience with some Doctor Who. So I picked up on eBay the release of the Doctor Who Series 1 and 2 soundtrack from 2006, I believe this was released, because this is covering Series 1 and 2. This is a more recent pressing, and I think you'll see why in a minute. But, you know, I decided to get this because I've been listening to this album so much recently on Spotify. In my Doctor Who marathon, I've reached the modern series now, so I'm on Series 2 currently, and just there's something about that early period from Murray Gold's music that is just incredible, and it just, there are so many tracks on this thing that are just some of my favourite music ever composed for Doctor Who. So we've got The Face of Bo, Rose's Theme, Song for 10, Father's Day, The Lone Dalek, Madame de Pompadour, Doomsday, of course. There are just so many tracks on this thing that feel so nostalgic and so different from what Murray would do later when he got a bit more money. And I know that a lot of the tracks on this are reorchestrated from what they are like in the show anyway. There's a bit more money behind it. But nevertheless, so many of these tracks are just some of my favourite Doctor Who music ever, and to own this in a physical form in a lovely gatefold release, which you can see here with all kinds of artwork from the first 2 series, and even better, liner notes from Murray Gold talking about each track on the album here. Reading this was fascinating, and just hearing some thoughts about his process. It's very tongue-in-cheek, it's very kind of light and fluffy. It's not exactly like the most in-depth or serious discussion about his methods of composing for the show, but you get a lot of cool tidbits in there and a lot of cool facts, and reading this was really fun. And maybe best of all, the actual records themselves are orange. Yeah, they're coloured vinyl, and they look really cool. These really stand out. They're very vibrant, the vibrant shade of orange. This colour combined with kind of this artwork on the actual record there is so nostalgic to me for this era of the show, and these look great, and I'm really, really happy to have this release, because I know this was quite a sought after release for a while, so to find it on eBay was very, very nice. I also picked up the Time Lord Victorious story, The Mines of Magnox, because it was in a 3 for $50 vinyl offer on HMV, which is a great deal, and there are 2 albums I really wanted, which you'll see in the next part of the video, but I didn't really know what else to get, and this was on there, and I thought, well, it's Doctor Who, I'll get it, even if I never really got behind the Time Lord Victorious thing, and even if I found it to be a massive mess, and even if I might never listen to this, it's nice to have, and it was cheap, and it got me 2 albums that I actually did want. And the cool thing about this release is probably the thing that makes me happy to own it. Oh, that's cool. There's a guide to Time Lord Victorious, a road map, if you will, on the inside. Which this was all a mess, wasn't it? I really hope Doomsday is more coherent. By the way, I know there's a lot of hate towards Doomsday at the minute, but this was a mess, didn't it? You needed a flow chart to understand what was going on. But nevertheless, the cool thing about the whole release is that the vinyl is a splatter colour one, and it looks very nice and gorgeous, and that's a very stunning record there. It's just a shame I might never actually listen to this story, but yeah, fuck it, maybe one day, who knows. But at least this looks nice and is a cool collector's piece. Now onto the main event, the big boy. This thing is super heavy to have on my lap. So you guys know how much I love the Killers. They're my favourite band ever. I'm sure people get sick and tired of how much I talk about them. and I've wanted this particular release for many years, and I've never been able to find it for a decent price. But this was on eBay very, very cheaply. I think it was about £120, something like that. And so that's the cheapest I've ever seen it, go up for. And so I bought it and kind of put it up as a Christmas gift from my grandparents. And it is the Killer's Korea box set, containing the first 5 albums plus the live from the Royal Albert Hall album in one big set. This is so heavy. Plus a slip mat and posters and all kinds of goodies in here. This is like one of my prized possessions now in my collection. This is just a gorgeous release. It's so cool to have most of my band's favourite albums in this form. I think it's a gorgeous set. But interestingly, so I was fine paying like the 120 and putting it up as a gift for my grandparents and all that. That was fine. We all agreed that was cool. And then the seller messaged me after I bought it saying that there was damage to the product. And I was like, oh shit. And he was going to knock 20 quid off it, so it was 100 quid. Okay, even better. What's the damage? Literally, you can't notice just these few dents in the corner there. So there's one little dent in there and there, which, I'm not going to lie, I only notice it when I'm looking for it. It's noticeable if you know it's there, but I just thought the seller knocked 20 quid off for such a minor bit of damage. So this was really a steal. And I'm just so happy with the release. I can't really unbox it here because it's so heavy and there's a lot in there, but there's gorgeous artwork on the back there of the boys. I'll throw in some B-roll, but needless to say, it is so lovely. It's such a lovely display piece. We'll put the box down. You have all the records in there. Another amazing picture there. All of them in here, really nicely packed in, and on the back as well. I'll put some B-roll in here and kind of unbox all the records, but yeah, this is the slip mat that you get, which lives on my record player now, which is very, very cool. And yeah, like most of these are gatefold releases as well. Like Battleborn here is massive, and it comes with a huge poster, which I'll probably put on screen, but it's just such a gorgeous set. All of these vinyls are just presented in such gorgeous quality, and just to have all these albums that I just adore so much in one beautiful, massive, heavy box is just so stunning. And this is absolutely one of my favourite pieces in my entire collection now. It's just everything I could have ever wanted, really, as a Killers fan. I have all the albums on CD already and the Blu-ray of the live from the Royal Albert Hall event, but have them all on vinyl, properly boxed up, it's just it's the best feeling. This release is just, I love it so much. So that is the massive, the elusive, because it was long out of print now. It's a few years old, this release. The Killers Korea box. Gorgeous set. Now, if you watched my year in review 2022 video where I spoke about all the pieces of media that I loved during that year, shameless plug, you'll know that I mentioned quite a bit Phoebe Bridgers and how much I've gotten into her stuff. And so these were the 2 albums that were on the HMV 3 for 50 deal. These were the 2 I really wanted, so I've got both Phoebe Bridgers albums, Stranger in the Alps and Punisher, on vinyl, and they both look very, very nice. Okay, well, I tell a lie. Technically, this is from eBay, and I bought it as an import from America because HMV listed this as in stock. Well, they listed it as back in stock soon, and then it took weeks and weeks, and I heard nothing, and it was never dispatched. So I ended up cancelling and going on eBay and getting it for around the same price, and they refunded me the difference and everything, so it was fine. So this technically wasn't part of that deal, but I'm still nonetheless happy to have it. So this one isn't a gatefold, but it does come with the lyric sheet. A nice picture of Phoebe there, which is pretty cool. And this whole album is such a peaceful listen. It's kind of made for vinyl, as is Punisher as well. And I want to talk about Punisher in a sec, because it's listening to these 2 has been quite the revelatory experience for me. It just tracks like Smoke Signals and Demi Moore and Scott Street are just stunning. And hearing them on vinyl with the kind of the crackle and the texture that the vinyl gives is just like. It's honestly like, it's a beautiful experience to just plug in and listen to these albums, and especially Punisher. Now Punisher, and this is a gatefold release. This is a gorgeous gatefold release. I stuck the little sticker that was on the front down there because it's clear and translucent. It looks kind of nice. This is a gorgeous gatefold release. Now, this was always the lesser of the two for me. I'd always preferred Stranger in the Alps. But plugging this in and kind of making a night and listening to these two, this destroyed me. This was such an ethereal, eerie experience listening to it, because it's such a dark album in a lot of ways, but it's also very upbeat and poppy. I think the lyrics in this, it's the first time that they've really hit me, and a lot of that was because it comes with this lovely booklet with the lyrics for every song inside, and some gorgeous artwork, like stunning illustrations, and just sort of making a night of it and reading the lyrics properly and really taking them in and looking at this artwork. It was a real kind of affecting experience for me, and just realising like the stories told in each of these songs and how devastating they all are. I love the artwork in this, and this whole booklet was an incredible kind of companion piece to actually listen to the album. But really, it's just confirmed my love for what Phoebe Bridgers is doing. I think she's just an incredible talent, and I can't wait to see what she does next. Obviously, Boy Genius, which she's a part of, is gearing up to release a new album, but I'm looking forward to her next solo one, because I think these two are just incredible experiences. And listening to them on vinyl properly was a real, it was a real kind of transcendent experience, just listening to them and taking them in on the vinyl format. Was just, I love these two to bits, and we'll be cracking these out for a listen many times in the future. So another band I've mentioned quite a bit is Tellison, and this album in particular is my favourite of theirs, and it was always sold out on their Bandcamp. I could never quite get it, I would always miss out, and then it would go back in stock and then back out of stock again. But this time, it's back in stock and I grabbed it. The Wages of Fear, this is my favourite of theirs. This is their second album. It's very cool. There's nothing hugely special about this release really, but it's I like the colour scheme of this. It's very nice, and this is my favourite album of theirs. I love each and every song on here. Favourite being, I don't know, all of these are bloody good. Vermont, maybe, that's fantastic. Collarbone, Get On, Say Silence, all these are bloody good. So it's great to have this. And if you watch the collection update I made last year, when I bought a t-shirt from their Bandcamp, they did send through a postcard that's signed by them, saying thanks Lewis, enjoy, which is lovely. It's really nice. I've got a couple of these now, but this is cool. And the other thing I bought from them was a single for Freud Links the Teeth and the Heart, which is a great song, and the B-side, and this is really why I got it, because I love the B-side to bits. It's The Way You Look Tonight, which is a cover of the is it Fred Astaire originally or Frank Sinatra, one of the two. It's a cover of that song, and it's amazing, and I love it to bits, and it's on YouTube, and it was never on Spotify or anything. It was never on streaming. So that's really why I bought this, because it's a gorgeous cover, and just have it in the single version is very nice. So yeah, two great releases from Tellison. Now lastly, Raimi Spider-Man fanboy, you can see it just behind these guys here. I'm having a massive clear out of my room soon, so all of this clutter will go. But anyway, behind there is the Raimi Spider-Man shrine, and so always nice to get another addition to the collection, particularly one when it's as gorgeous as this, the 20th anniversary edition of the original motion picture score by Danny Elfman for the original 2002 film. Now this is the silver edition. I missed out on the gold one. The gold edition sold out really quickly, but I really like the silver edition on the cover. I love the shininess of that silver logo. This logo always looks bright and silver to me. That's how I always saw it as a kid, and so I think it looks better on the cover than the gold one does. But this is a gorgeous, look at that. That's absolutely stunning. That's such a nostalgic picture of Spidey. And again, that's coming out. That's a gorgeous gatefold release there. All sorts of artwork, all kinds of artwork for the film. This isn't Danny Elfman's complete score. I know that La La Land Records did an expanded release of the complete score, so this isn't that. This is just the original album with selections of the score. But that's okay. So if I get the record out, so again, really gorgeous nostalgic artwork there, and there's Spidey there, which is very cool. And the record is coloured, so it's the silver coloured vinyl, not the gold one, but again it looks very nice. It's all shiny, and it's got a nice bit of texture to it there. And this is great. This is a beautiful score for a beautiful film, and really love listening to this on vinyl. And it's just a great release. It's just a really cool kind of collector's edition release, commemorative release of the 20th anniversary of the film and the 20th anniversary of the score and everything. So yeah, definitely really happy to have it. So there we go. That's all the vinyl records that I picked up over the last couple of months or so. I don't know if this video will be that interesting to a lot of people because yeah, it's very music based. I don't really talk about music on my channel because I'm more like films, TV kind of guy. But if you made it through to the end and you enjoyed what I had to say, then hey, thank you. That's really cool. I'm really happy that you enjoyed and watched the video. Next time in the collection update little mini series will be the DVD and Blu-rays and 4Ks, because I have bought quite a lot of box sets and releases and new favourites and all kinds of things. So stay tuned for part 2 of this little run, and let me know what your thoughts on any of the releases I mentioned in this video. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.